This is a Fulcrum Technologies screencast.
Hello there, I'm Rex Proctor. Thank you for joining me in this screencast. In this screencast, we're going to look at the Cut Clips feature, which is available in the timeline and the composer. In specific workflows, you may want to quickly export clips so that you can drop them into a Google Drive or Dropbox. So you just want something that's going to work quick and give you the naming convention that appears in the row name and or the topic name. So let's have a look at the Cut Clips. If you click on the export icon in either the timeline or composer, you have an option for cutting clips. Let's have a look at the settings. You want to make sure you set these up first before you start pumping out cuts. So there's a variety of options that can be run simultaneously. So you can run a whole bunch of different exports and really generate a lot of files if you're not careful. So single movie for row will generate a movie that concatenates every single clip back to back to back in a single movie. If it's in a composer, it will be topics. So rows and topics are interchangeable in this case. Individual movies for clips will export each clip using the row name and the clip number in the file name when it gets exported. If you have multiple angles, this will separate all the angles out and then include those with the angle name. We always recommend naming your angles because it does help in this kind of workflow when you want to know what angle the file name is, especially when it gets separated. Sequence angles puts each angle for the clip back to back to back according to the angle number. Include the note in the file name will take the note and append that between the row name and the clip number as much as it can do, up to, I think it's 255 characters. Now, cutting clips, you generally may not want to be exporting because that takes extra time. But there's a prepare for telestration option that tries to do the cut on the iframe, making it easier for it to be exported into a telestration application that you may be using. H.264 1920 by 1080 actually does a conversion of that and it re-encodes that on the way out. This will slow down, but sometimes you need to do that in order to get it into these telestration packages. So let's create a new folder, and I'm going to call this one Test Cuts. And I'll just go ahead and close this dialog because that will save the settings. And then I'll select the row. We'll go ahead and select 2 rows. And I'll choose Cut Clips, Cut. And you can see that progress bar goes pretty fast. Now let's have a look at our Test Cuts folder and see what this has generated for us. So what you can see here is it created a whole bunch of movies. Now you can see these are the individual clips. This is the row movie. You can see the file size there is a fair bit bigger. So we can quickly create a lot of content with one click of the button. So just be careful how many you have selected because it'll chew up space pretty quickly. The same works for the composer. If I select all and I choose the Cut Clips, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut, the composer and timeline share those preferences, so you only need to set it in one spot. Let's go to my desktop and let's look at the Cut Clips here. And you can see that exported those, each individual clip from the composer using the topic name and the clip number, and then a full-length movie for each of the topics.